Okay, so I have got Gemma here. Gemma, Glow Girls with Gemma, and now Arc Horizons did the very first training back in March. So Gemma, this is a really short mini series for any of the other Glow Girls to watch. Can you tell us what you're at right now and what you've done after the training?
So what I am at right now is something that I never ever expected. Like I am in and out of schools. I actually next Friday I have a year group of 120 pupils that I am facilitating for, but I've got one of the other Glow girls that I trained with that day to come up and do a third of the group. And then I have Crisscross, who everybody should know from the training.
Brilliant. Oh, what a
He's
lovely
coming
group
up and
of
doing it as
girls.
well. So it's the three of us that are facilitating that. I have been contacted by GAA clubs now. I'm going to be doing them in the new year. I have been contacted by an Irish dancing school, by a gymnastics school who want me in all over next summer. Um, but really, like I've been so lucky with my opportunities, but I have put myself out there. I have every single time I do a class or do anything at all with Glow Girls, I put it on my social media. Now, that doesn't mean that my face needs to be in it. I am just getting waiver forms signed, by schools, by parents or whatever, and promoting myself as much as possible. And it's reaching so many people because the work itself is so impactful. Like
Just
straight after, yes.
give me some of the impact because you we spoke before and you give me some gorgeous feedback from the young girls doing the program. Like what?
The young girls doing the program are just so like grateful, at that age. They cherish the time to slow down with no phones, no nothing, no expectations of them. Like I do a lot of stuff with essential oils and things and making calming sprays and obviously the sea salt scrubs, Tara, that you sort of taught us. And their feedback is, I love learning how to breathe. I love being relaxed. I love being calm. They absolutely love the guided meditations at the end. Like I've had so many of them say, can you just do it for 2 minutes longer? And then me sort of having to go off script and make up something in my own head, like because I'm still reading from a script, Tara, but like I have a folder and I change my folder. I have, week one, week two, week three, week four. It's all printed out into a script. I'm still using the script, but not as much as what I did. I put in a lot of work straight after the training. I started writing programs, and at the end of your training, you got us to go into pairs and to do a wee sort of what would your first workshop be? And that was my first workshop. So, like, I went from that and then done myself a script. And then obviously I put that out there. And that's the one, Be Your Own BFF. That's the one I ran with
Yeah,
for
that's the one I
months.
do. I think that's the one that works so well with Glow Gears, doesn't it? And the
Yeah, and the one with the making the lavender scented eye masks and stuff and getting them to bring in socks. I literally ran with what you had nearly done on the day because I was nervous.
yeah,
Like, like it might seem that I'm not a nervous person when you step out of your comfort zone. It is something that but nerves are good. Like all I can sort of say to all the other girls out there that are like, oh God, I don't know if I can do this. And I just do it, because see, once you've the first one over you and once you get the feedback of the girls in the closing circle at the end, do a feedback form and then keep the feedback forms for yourself because that will bring confidence. That will, when you see the impact you're having on them young girls, that will help you. And then you'll just keep going. And as you said to me, Tara, and I've never looked back, just say yes to everything and worry about it later. And
yeah.
I know I've
You've
sent
got
you
it all.
many a text messages to
Yeah,
say, right, okay, I've agreed to this, but what can you look over this? And it just run with it. Whatever comes your way, just say yes and then deal with it after
and
because
Gemma,
things will
the framework, like you once you have the framework, then you always know you're protected and everything you offer. You have the energy
absolutely.
connectors. That all
Like
works.
I still look at the framework now. Do you know what I mean? Like one of my favorite things is the marshmallow tower, the cup stacks, all that sort of stuff, the straws, the mirror straw. I've had so many laughs and giggles from the young ones. I had a wee girl that said to me once, it was like, what was your favorite part of the workshop? That weird straw two finger thing. Like she wrote that on the feedback.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's just this, it's the simplicity of what we are allowing them to do, and the fun that they're having, and the feelings, and the deep dives, the talks that you think mightn't go in, but it does go in. And then I like, my thing is I concentrate on arts and crafts. So whatever their deep dive is, I'll make them create something about it afterwards. So it's a tangible asset that they can take home, whether it be a wee mini glow box. And all I do is cut up pieces of paper and get them to write positive affirmations and things that they're proud of. And they put it into the box. And I say, open that box up whenever you want, add into that box whenever you want. And then the next week, if I'm doing a program, I'll say, did anybody use their box last week? So it's always, you know what I mean, referring back. And
And
they,
that's
they, the,
wonderful.
yeah,
I love
and the parents as well. Like the messages I've had from parents to say, Gemma, you have no idea the difference I see in my daughter with regards to confidence, the way she's speaking about herself, or the maybe how the negative speak has stopped or
it.
has become minimal, you know. And as I say, like grandparents who have brought their kids and stuff like that as well. And then obviously the mother and daughter retreats. Like I've had mummies crying and all at my mother and daughter retreats. When I say the power of getting people together and the connection is like something I've never seen before. It really, it's that I've found my calling, like, and I've only you to thank for that, Tara. Do you know what I mean? So
But Gemma, this is why I wanted to get you on Glow Girls to watch, because you're like a tonic of inspiration, and your journey. We only done the first training in March, in the middle of
I
March,
know.
and it's only November. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
the fact that, and you absolutely love what you do. You've seen the impact, and the parents and the young girls, like it's just amazing. And then the schools are getting in, and then all them different organisations that you just named, and different
yeah,
products. So it's just gorgeous. It's really applicable to loads of different things.
of
For someone
course.
that's sitting watching this now and they haven't done anything, what would you say to start would be the best thing for them?
So run with the program, or run with the workshop that you did at the end of Tara's training day. Because whatever you put down there, that's what you're comfortable doing, and that's what sits well with you. That's what reached you, and that's what grabbed you on the day. Basically, do yourself up a one-page proposal, even a two-page, introduce yourself, say who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, put a picture of yourself, a wee Word document, like a wee table, put your proposal out, lay it out the way Tara told you to lay it out with regards to your training manual, and literally just start sending it to schools. That's it. Just start like emailing it to schools. Probably if you don't mind doing it, is picking up a call to the school and asking what email address to send it to, because if they give you the principal's email address, then you're in, you know. Whereas, but if you just want to look it up online and go for the info at whatever schools, the same with the likes of, if you've local Irish dancing clubs, use your contacts. Like if you know somebody in the local GAA club, like go up to them, say to them, listen, I have this great program that I'm doing, you know, run a wee taster session, only do an hour if you want, but if you're gonna do an hour, pull the whole thing back, because time does run away with you in the workshops. But
Yeah.
just put yourself out there. And again, it doesn't need to be your face. You don't need to be up like this here talking online to like get the word out. Just try and do as much as you can. Like I lived, breathed, and slept this for 6 full months, and I am only starting to relax now because things are just coming off the back of other things that I'm doing, you know. But
You were
get
so
one
inspired.
workshop out there.
Gemma,
Eh?
you were so inspired. Your energy from
Oh,
you literally left
completely.
that day.
Yeah. Like as I say, I fostered for 5 years and I thought that was my true calling. You know, it didn't work out for different reasons. And then obviously I took a couple of months off to myself. Then the Glow Girls training came up and I went, that's shouting, calling my name. And I literally just hit the ground running, you know. And as I say, I was one workshop, be your own BFF, and I just started running it. But use your contacts. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, like I would say most of the girls doing the training are, you know, 25, 30, some 35, 40. Like I'm 41, so I know a lot of people. Use them people that you know,
Mhm.
as I say, the local GAA club, the local Irish dancing, a youth club. Go in and do a taster session for them. Do you know what I mean? Only you charge them a minimal amount just to get video
So
footage and stuff.
lovely. Gemma, is that we all work under the umbrella of the Glow Girls, and that's all for that's the hard work done, because you can work under that umbrella, but you're independent, but you keep bringing back
Yes.
to the Glow Girls. So then you can just,
Yes.
as you say, deliver the program.
Yeah.
All that's your own, and then you create your own community off that, but
Abs
creating that.
absolutely.
And there's still so
Absolutely.
many 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old girls that are getting nothing. Like, not me and you just can't serve everybody. And
Yeah,
there's so
absolutely.
much work, there's so much opportunity. There's always new girls coming through as they grow up and move on.
Yes.
So there's
And
so much.
see as well, just when you touched on that, because obviously it for me, it's all about collaboration. It's not competition. And that's what I think a lot of people still need to learn, and even the world of business,
Yeah.
but there's that 120 that I'm doing next Friday. I couldn't do that on my own. So I got one of the other Glow Girls to do it. You know what
And
I
that's what
mean?
you talk about in
So
the training, with even for
yeah,
your then, and how you approach it.
if people are nervous, collab with another girl that you done the training with to do your first workshop. If that's what you're worried about, just go in together just to get the first couple of workshops over with you. It's not that they're competition or whatever, because there's enough people for you to do and there's enough people for them to do. But if that's something that you're sitting on the fence going, I don't want to deliver my first workshop, contact somebody, contact one of the other girls and
And
say, do you
Gemma,
want to do this together?
what I keep talking about is the sort of business model we use is like getting funders to get the program in. So you're not stressed
Yes,
about hiring places and filling seats. You have got the
yes,
proposal, you put in your fee, they have agreed, and that's going to be paid. So then that keeps
yes,
us, you can be fully present in delivering the program instead of worrying about all that.
absolutely.
Because I don't think you need to worry about that until you're more seasoned, initially. And
Yes,
that's where I do lots of contracts, and you've done that too. Like all
yeah,
them organizations, youth clubs or gymnastics, Irish dancing, they can often have a funding for
yes,
the well-being side of it, and they're happy
yes.
to pay once you give your fee. Isn't that right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's like you contact people and maybe they would say, well, how much are you? You can ask them their budget and stuff like that. And what I do automatically is, if it's an organization, if somebody contacts me or if I've contacted them and they say, we don't really know if I would say, look for funding, and then obviously there is loads of funding out there at the minute. So it's nearly, if you have a couple of different funds that you know in your head that are going to suit any organization, then you can say to them, why don't you try this funding? Because then you can run it for free. I can do a proposal for evidence for your funding piece, and then it really is so easy, because
And also,
they are willing to fill out the application form for the funding. All you have to do is put a proposal together.
which
That's
we have
it.
kind of covered, it's kind of the outline of the framework, the goals
Yes.
is all in your training booklet, and then the outcomes that the girls are going to get, and that
Absolutely. And
covers
it's
it all.
all in the booklet. So just go through your booklet, do a one pager about who you are, do a one page workshop, and then put a fee or something on it. Do you know what I mean? And say this can be funded. Give them a couple of different options of funding, and you will be absolutely blown away by how many people will bring you on board whenever you're saying, but you can get this funded, you know?
And Gemma, what I'm saying, I was speaking to some of the girls this week. I've already got most of my work lined up to April 26th. So with funding, you need to be putting yourself out there now for the
Yes.
start of the new or the new budget and the end of 2025-26. So
Yes.
because funding does take a wee while, often it can be in place, but and then you book that in. So you're always kind of
Yes.
working ahead. That's what I would recommend. And
Yes.
then any
No,
funding that you
absolutely.
use, public health agency is for the ones in the north. Clear funding, um, that's a lot of the funding I would have done or still do through Glow Girls. Any other funders that your organisations have used?
Sports funding. There's
Oh,
like so there's a sports fund. Again, you can just look it up online, sports funding, and then that's probably the best one to approach all of your GAA clubs, Irish dancing, all of that sort of stuff. And that's quite a big fund as well.
yeah.
So, for people then going in and maybe doing something like a program would probably be better for that. Do you know what I mean? Like
And
maybe a
people,
4 week.
see the way you bring the BFF, be your own BFF. People want to see exactly what you're doing, that you're going to provide the workshop. You're making it really easy for that group because they're fit to provide the well-being for their young girls. They can then get the funding, and then they get an external person like yourself, highly skilled, providing all that
Exactly.
in that date. And that's what they want. And then they'll book you. And then, as you say, you've had repeat people, haven't you? So
Yes, I
you
have. Like I've been in the same schools now over and over again. I've just recently got in with a trust. So I have trust bookings for I think the majority of next year from February onwards. And again, it's all this is all funded, and as I say, you said the funding does take a while. I'm getting the end of the funding for this year, but then they've told me then that the new funding's out next year and things. So like all I can say to anybody sitting there on the fence is just do it. You done the training for a reason.
you
It obviously called out to you. Just run with your initial workshop. Keep it simple, and just get it out there. That's all you have to do. And I can't reiterate enough, use your contacts.
yeah.
Use
And
the
what
people
about the
that you know from your
affirmations?
community.
You know, the
Sorry.
end piece, the affirmations, that's my favorite piece. The affirmations, the last part is not just that alone
Yes.
to me always motivates me to keep doing them. They're just gorgeous when you get to hear
No,
their affirmations.
absolutely. As I say, it's the best thing that I've ever done. As I say, my life has dramatically changed since March. And like I would hope now within the next year or two that all I'm doing is working for myself.
Well done.
So, and that's something that I have wanted to do since I can remember. I
But
wanted to
it's
be my own
also
boss.
impactful, purposeful,
Ye-
feel good. You're
yes,
making a change without, it's just gorgeous. And as you say, some of the girls don't even engage to the full, but they're taking it away, and you're hearing from the parents and their feedback forms, and you don't even
absolutely.
think that that was landed
Yeah,
with them. And that's what's so
yeah,
gorgeous. Your whole presence and that energy that you set up, like what you're speaking about,
absolutely.
part of the program is
And it's another thing is like for anybody who's done the training, don't put pressure on yourself. You know, all you are not there, you're not there to teach them. You're not there, you are just there to facilitate a
that
safe
program.
and relaxed space for them just to be a kid.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you're doing. See if you make a mistake, it's okay because they don't know. Like if you don't read off your script properly, they don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's so powerful. And once you get your first workshop over you, you will want to do it again and again and again. Because I've said this to you before, Tara. My partner said to me like many times, Gemma, you glow after your workshops. It's just so uplifting. See all the wee girls' faces, and they are in awe of you because you're giving them a space just to be them and let them be them in a really calm and relaxed environment. And the giggles and the laughs and stuff that you have with them is just it just blows me away every single time. It does.
Gemma, oh, so gorgeous. And for anyone that wants to do the training, what would you say? Because you were there at
Just
a
do it.
crossroads. Yeah.
Just like it's one day, and if you put the work in and you follow your heart, you will just your opportunities are
And we're trained
absolutely
to be
endless.
credible, ethical, professional at all times. So it's really lovely. Like,
Absolutely. But somebody who's sitting maybe thinking, should I do this training? You're obviously thinking about it because it's called out to you. So just take the next step, book the training, because I'm telling you now, if you put the work in for the first couple of months, things will just start to happen. People who are in a 9 to 5 job that they're bored at the minute. This is something that I can't even explain or put into words how impactful it's been in my life, never mind like the likes of the kids and the schools and all of that. It changes things altogether when you're doing something impactful with your own life, for yourself and for everybody else that you're doing it for. So
amazing, Gemma. Well, thank you so much.